All right, everybody, and welcome to the Touch of Gaming podcast, episode number 132. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, Jared Schultz. Jared, how you doing?
I'm still here, Lloyd.
You are? You've been here for like the last hour and a half.
Seriously.
We recorded two shows today, which is a Thursday night. So Thursdays are kind of the new ToG and Nintendo Pulse night here on the VG Podcast Live website. So if you come to vgpodcast.com/live, you can see our recording schedule. But we had to flip-flop them because Jared was a little bit late, so we did Nintendo Pulse. And then you came like 5 minutes after Nintendo Pulse started recording, and you were here for the whole show. So you've been there being very patient. I'm very thankful, Jared. You've been very nice. You have not been making fun of me at all or making jokes at my expense at all. Oh, wait.
Not at all.
Oh, wait. Yes. It's been a fun evening.
Yeah, I'm just in kind of a goofy mood, but it's good.
That's good. That's a good thing to have every once in a while.
Yeah, how you doing, Lloyd?
I'm doing great. I've been off this week. I took a week of vacation because my kids are on spring break. So I've been doing fun stuff with the kids, going around, getting worn out repeatedly. I've never been more tired in my entire life, so it's been good. But I've been playing some games, which is even better.
Yeah, I've heard it really feels like spring there. What'd you say? High of 0 today?
High of +2. +2 Celsius, which is what, 34 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. Yeah, it's a balmy spring morning.
Happy spring, Canada.
Yeah. It's weird. We had such a warm spring last year, and now it's not at all. Like we were in like 70 degrees like a week ago here last year, and now it's just like deep freeze. And we have so much snow. Oh, I hate winter. I want to move away from this terrible cold winter city, but I won't, because it'll get better next year.
So, just in case you're wondering, tomorrow we have a high of 67.
Oh yeah, well that's nice. Thanks. I don't recall asking that, but thanks for just throwing that out there, Jared.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that you knew.
Awesome. Well, let's get into the show then, Mr. Jerk. Let's get into what we've been playing. Jared, what you been playing?
Well, the list of things that I've been playing is a little bit shorter than normal, but I have been. And nothing is going to be new. I've been playing a lot more of the Heroes and Castles game. So Heroes and Castles, I kind of told you, it's a castle defense game. There's 6 different heroes. It's by Forsaken Media. It's their second newest one. They came out with Block Fortress after, but for some reason, I'm getting into Heroes and Castles way more. It's getting really tricky near the end. Not near the end, but the levels get really challenging, so you want to use multiple characters to defeat the same level, because for each character you use, you get a couple of gems. And so then, each level you can get 2 out of it, or if you do it with all 6 characters, you can get 12. So you get the extra gems, and then you can upgrade your walls and upgrade some of the units you're using and try different strategies to win. And it's good. I like it. It'll probably get reviewed next week. I'm getting really close to it. But I'm no surprise. I like it. And the second one that I've been playing a lot of, and you can make fun of me if you want on this one,
and I plan to,
is Kitten Sanctuary. Go ahead.
No, I'll just leave it there.
All right. It's a match 3 game, and it's actually a really well implemented match 3 game. It's one of those ones that you just kind of like hate yourself that you're actually enjoying it.
I played it as well, so I know what you mean by the draw of the Kitten Sanctuary.
Yeah, you just go play, and it has really fun levels with just a little, enough differences to make it fun, and then you're trying to save all your kittens, because you don't want the kittens to not have a home, and you want to get them in your sanctuary. That seems logical to me. And but in terms of a match 3 puzzler, it's pretty good. So yeah, that's what I've been playing, and then a couple of games which I will be reviewing here in a little bit. So yeah, what have you been playing, Lloyd?
Nice. Well, this week I've been playing a lot of stuff. Not so much iOS. I've been playing some games with the kids. I picked up Lego City Undercover for my Wii U and been playing a lot of that. I beat it earlier this week. Completed all the mission modes, and we're going back trying to get 100% of the game, which is 350 characters, 112 vehicles, 450 gold bricks, 40 red bricks, whole bunch of other things as well. So I've been playing a lot of that. That's taken up a lot of my time.
So you're almost done with that, right?
Almost, actually. I'm at 75% of items found in the world. So still a little bit of stuff to go, but yeah, it's coming. Been playing that. But on iOS, I'm still playing The Simpsons every day. That's kind of I wake up and play, and I play a couple times during the day. They added a new content update that adds in Lenny and Carl, so you can play that, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, that's kind of the boring thing that I talk about each week. As US Ozgirl says in the chat room, drink. So yes, if you're playing the ToG drinking game, whenever I mention Simpsons Tapped Out, feel free to take a drink as long as you're of legal age. Also been playing Ridiculous Fishing still. Really enjoying that game. Still holding up after a week and a bit of playing it, which is great. I picked up a couple new games. I'm also playing Dungeon Plunder. And having a lot of fun with that one. They released version 1.15 this week, which adds a whole bunch of other things. They added abilities on the different enemies and characters. So some of the characters will have a dodge chance, or some of them will have special moves, or things that will basically make you freeze, paralyze you, or whatever, which is great. They've increased some of the ways that your skills kind of hit. So they made it so your skills actually hit more to kind of balance it out, which is great. They've changed a lot of other things as well, which is good. I've been having a lot of fun with that, even after doing the review a couple of weeks ago. It is a great game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And been chatting a little bit with the developer he's been chatting on the forums, which has been really cool. And he gave me some codes to give away. So if you guys want to play Dungeon Plunder, which is the great roguelike with a roulette, not roulette, what is that? A slot machine. That's the word I couldn't find. A slot machine mechanic for all the battles. When you hear this podcast, post in the notes, or post in the comment section rather, below the show notes, and I'll select a few people at random, and we'll give you a free copy of this really awesome game. So definitely do that if you're interested in winning this free game. It is probably one of the best kind of RPG-ish sort of games that I've played over the last little while. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, kind of making my way through the game. So do check it out if you're looking for a game that gives you sort of an RPG feel, but is a roguelike, but it's a roguelike done really well, which is really cool. So do check that one out.
As much as you've talked about it, I've been really tempted to start checking this one out too. I went and checked out Little Inferno on your recommendation. I've been playing that one this week. I'm enjoying that. So
yeah, that's a lot of fun too. That one's really great. And I picked up a new game today called Quantum Legacy HD Turbo, mainly because it looks really fun. The HD Turbo tag on it makes me think it's going to be kind of cheesy, and it is. It's incredibly cheesy. It's voiced by. It sounds like people that. Where English wasn't maybe not their first language, so they have this like really interesting accent, and it's a space kind of a space battle game, which is you basically fly from sector to sector, shooting ships, but it's done in it's not like one of Anthony's Star Trek games or the games that you're into, Jared. It's an actual like real action one where you're flying your ship, so you tilt around and you have two buttons. One is shoot and the other one is put on shields. So battles revolve around you shooting and then putting your shields up and then moving around the ship that you're attacking, and the game kind of takes you from area to area itself, so you're not really flying around space, you're just going from battle to battle to battle. I've played a little bit of it today and I kind of dig it. It's really interesting. It's I think there's something like 15 different missions, and the missions end with a big boss battle. So I think I'm midway through the third one, so I'm not very far in the game at all. But I'm kind of digging it. It was 99 cents on sale right now. I think it's going to be $1.99 after the sale's over. But definitely, if you're into kind of space battle games, definitely go take a look at the screenshots in the iOS App Store. Excuse me, and see if that's something that would kind of pique your interest. It's a interesting little game. I'm gonna definitely give it a little bit more play time to see if it's something that I really can recommend on the show. All right, well, I think that's it for what we've been playing and announcements. As I said, we are giving away some copies of Dungeon Plunder. The developer was nice enough to gift us with some promo codes to give away, so do get in on that if you want to win this really awesome game. But I think we have a lot of news to cover this week, Jared.
And like you said, if you're interested in talking to the developer, he has been super active on our forums, responding and, just really, really good conversation going with him. And it's been cool to actually have that voice of, what it's like to be a developer on the forum recently.
Which has been really cool. And he's actually been taking requests, what do you want to see? If I add a new class that has pets, what kind of pets should this class have? And it's oh, well, that's kind of awesome that you're here talking with us about this stuff. So yeah, it's great. I really can't wait to interact a little bit more with the developer and see what other stuff he has coming out.
But yeah, you're right. There is a ton of news. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, a little gaming convention happened. It's a game developers conference this week, which is a big, week-long party for game developers, where they also trade information and learn stuff. But it's mainly there to be partied. A lot of people go to all the parties around GDC. And I would say a metric ton of games were announced, or more information from an already announced game has been released this week. It's crazy. There's so many games. We're going to cover some of the highlights, but there's probably another 20 titles that we could talk about because we're all excited about them as well. But would you say we start off with kind of the biggest surprise, Jared?
Yes. So the big one... big time title that was all the rage last year, XCOM coming to the iPad. And
not even last year, XCOM Enemy Unknown. When was the release date? Wasn't it November of last year or something, or October? It wasn't a full year ago. I'm gonna look up the release date.
Yeah, it was late last year for sure.
But yeah, it came out October 9th. So yeah, and basically it's by Firaxis, who recently released another game on the App Store that we talked about, that is available just in Canada, which will be coming to the rest of the App Store later. But they kind of dropped the big bomb at GDC that the full XCOM Enemy Unknown, so the game that you would have spent $60 to buy on your Xbox or PlayStation 3, is coming to iOS. It's coming to the iPad, and they're porting the whole game. It's not a watered down version. It's not like the Borderlands port, which isn't a port. It's its own game, and it wasn't very good until they patched it, and even then it's still kind of meh. This is going to be the full game. Really sort of surprising. So Jared, is this going to be kind of a day one purchase for you?
I'm not quite sure. I keep looking at it, and kept thinking about getting it on PC and haven't yet made that plunge. So I'm thinking maybe I'll hold off until the iPad version comes out. They did say that they were expecting to price it in a premium way.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this came out and it was, say, $20 or $30.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. They're probably going to take what Square Enix is doing, where their apps are $16.99 when they first come out. I think that would be a good price. Maybe they might do the $9.99 thing that some other games have come out at. But yeah, this is basically going to be the full game, except they're going to be removing some of the maps from the game just because of a file size limitation that they have on the iPad. But yeah, you're going to be basically playing the full console release pretty much on your iPad. It's, I don't know, really kind of surprising to me. But awesome.
And it's really interesting to see one of these AAA titles that they are considering iPad as another platform to release it on. So that's really, really cool. So hopefully that is a sign of wonderful things to come.
Yeah. They did an interview with Polygon. So I'll post a link to that in the show notes. But yeah, they talk about how they redid the kind of the control scheme and the camera scheme and everything to really make it work like it is a game that belongs on the iPad. So I'm really, really excited about this one. I can't wait for it to hit. That's going to be pretty amazing to be playing that on my iPad.
Yeah, everyone who knows me I love me some strategy games, some RPG games. So this one will definitely be up that alley, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with it. Yeah,
definitely. Next up, Gameloft, who haven't talked about that much lately because they've been kind of slowing down on their releases. They did unveil Ironman 3, which will be coming on April 25th to coincide with the new movie Ironman 3, and it's coming out, but it's not like Iron Man when it hit the iPad, which is like a 3D exploration battle game. It's a actual endless flyer is what they're calling it. So yeah, Iron Man 3, it's coming. I don't think this one interests me though, but it is kind of cool to see Gameloft still working with a major media I don't know, item like Iron Man and Marvel. And it's also interesting, since Disney owns Marvel now, maybe Gameloft might be taking over some of the Disney game manufacturing instead of Disney kind of partnering with some of the other indie developers, like the Temple Run guys did Temple Run Brave and some other games for some of their other movies. Maybe we'll have some Gameloft games that are basically going to be dealing with some of the Disney franchises.
Yeah, this just made me sad. I don't want to see an endless anything anymore. So
what you're saying that endless runners are played out on the App Store, Jared?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is kind of crazy.
It's funny because it seems like there's been a rise and fall of a few of these genres, and this is endless runners kind of the one in vogue. Previously there's tower defense, and then physics puzzlers, and endless runners. They need to go away. So
no, I agree with you. Let's I had it later in the show, but let's talk about this one now. Gameloft also unveiled details for Dungeon Hunter 4. So can you remember us talking about, were you around when we reviewed Dungeon Hunter 2, or was that pre you becoming co-host?
I don't remember. I was around when you loved Dungeon Hunter 3.
Yes, Dungeon Hunter 3 was awesome. Although it was not awesome at all. They basically took a really awesome game franchise, kind of a Diablo on the iOS platform, and then came out with a game that wasn't like an offshoot, but it was the next game in the franchise, but it wasn't like any other game in the franchise. It was basically an arena battler, which is fine, but don't call it Dungeon Hunter 3, I think is what I kind of said when we talked about it. Well, Gameloft announced Dungeon Hunter 4, and I was immediately ready to kind of just avoid it and forget that it even exists. But yeah, they announced some details about it, and Dungeon Hunter 4 will have a story, so it is not just a endless battler set in an arena. You're going to be dungeon crawling, but they also have arena style battles, so they're kind of munging both games together into a big mass of Play-Doh and making a game out of it, which I guess is kind of cool. They're saying Dungeon Hunter 4 will have all the best features from Dungeon Hunter 1, 2, and 3. So I guess I'm less worried than I was, but I'm still a little worried. They posted some screenshots and they look amazing. They look, I don't know, they look more Diablo than Dungeon Hunter has ever looked before. I'm really excited. I'd like to see the game actually ship looking like this, although oftentimes development screenshots tend to look a lot more muddy and less awesome when the shipping version comes out. The other thing that's really kind of exciting me is that when Gameloft announces a game, they pretty much just release it within 2 weeks. So I'm hoping that is the same thing here.
Yeah, could be interesting. I'm not sure if they announced it because it was part of GDC, but it does look better, and I'm hopeful that maybe they learned their lesson that Dungeon Hunter 3 sucked. So
Yeah, I don't think they got much buzz out of it at all. So if they're smart, they would go back to form instead of releasing a game that was free and expecting people to buy in-app purchases to continue dungeon hunting in an arena. People really want to play Dungeon Hunter for the RPG. I mean, Dungeon Hunter 2 came out on Vita. They ported it over, and I guess it sold okay, but it was a full price. It came on the little Vita cartridge, the little tiny memory card thing, so it wasn't just a download on the PlayStation Network store. So people kind of dig that game. So to take a step so far away from that was really kind of weird. I'm really kind of glad that they're going back to it. But yeah, when we know more, we'll talk about it, because this is a game that is kind of a favorite of mine.
yeah, sounds good.
All right, moving on. Jared, why don't you tell us about Plants vs. Zombies 2?
Well, Plants vs. Zombies, they have already previously announced Plants vs. Zombies 2 is coming out. They announced it last fall. However, there was some information coming out around GDC that it is basically coming early summer is what they're saying. So, I mean, I would think that's, June, July timeframe. So hopefully it's getting pretty close. It does look still pretty good. So I think originally they had stated that it was late spring 2013. So now it's early summer. So it was a little bit of a pushback, but it still looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And PopCap seems to know how to put them out when they want to. So I'm excited for Plants vs. Zombies 2.
Yeah, I really kind of want to play that. It looks like it's going to be good. I mean, it's a PopCap game. They haven't really released much since they were bought by EA. So I'm really kind of curious to see if this is going to be like PopCap or EA PopCap, which will be sad, and I might have to drink a lot if that is what it turns out to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and hopefully it's as good as the first one.
Yeah, I hope so. So that's about I guess it for some of the highlights. There's some other games though, Jared, that you were kind of mentioning to me in the pre-show. Do you want to mention any of them here that kind of popped out into your brain?
Now that you put me on the spot, I'm not ready with any of the information on them. There was that one. It was like City of Magic, or hold on, let me figure out what it was.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd have some in your brain, so don't worry about it.
Festival of Magic looked really good. It's a JRPG that looks pretty interesting. You can find out some of the information. But yeah, there's a few others that I'm sure that we'll be talking about, and it's kind of nice because it feels like it's been a little bit of a slow period on the iOS store. I'd say over the last 3 months, we kind of got that massive tidal wave before, and I think since then maybe we've only had one or two really big ones that I'm really excited about.
Yeah,
and it felt like GDC was kind of the kickoff to the new season, so I'm excited. One
game I forgot to mention, I wanted to put this one in the show notes, is Crescent Moon unveiled some information about Exiles.
Oh yeah, yep.
Which is their science fiction version of like Erelon or Ravensword. I looked at some of the stuff that was released on it. It looks damn awesome. It looks like Mass Effect sort of in some areas, like really detailed character models, like the Ravensword Shadowlands, but set in a sci-fi universe. This one looks like it's going to be one to buy for sure.
Yeah, looks fantastic. So, I mean, overall, just keep listening, because I'm sure that we'll talk about all these big ones as they come out. And man, it looks like it's going to be another good time period here for iOS games.
Totally. I mean, like Double Fine unveiled a game. I think it was called Broken Age, which is just another Double Fine game. You had a bunch of kids games announced. What else? Oh, there were some other ones. I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, there was like probably about 50 really interesting games that were announced at GDC, shown off for the first time. It's mobile creation or mobile game creation rather is pretty exciting. I mean, the ability for a developer to kind of create a game with one or two people makes things pretty exciting. And as US Oz Girl in the chat room said, more endless runners. So you have that to look forward to, Jared.
Yay!
All right, moving on. So we talked about this a while ago, or maybe it was on the bonus stage. But Mojang was working on a way to bring multiplayer to Minecraft, also including Minecraft on iOS. Well, it actually looks like a developer has beaten the creators of Minecraft to the punch. They released a game called Multiplayer for Minecraft PE, which brings servers to Minecraft Pocket Edition. It's a $3 game, or $3 add-on rather, to go with your $7 game, which basically allows you to create a server that you can then join from your Minecraft Pocket Edition. It works on, there's versions for both iOS and for Android. So I don't know. It really kind of scares me that this is something that a third-party developer is creating, but it's actually getting reviews and people are saying it's working. So I'd be cautiously optimistic and be very wary. But I don't know. It's gotten 41 ratings and it's 4 stars. Most of them are pretty good. There's a couple 1 stars that say it does not work because they're using a non-supported device. But yeah, I don't know. If you wanted to play multiplayer on your Minecraft Pocket Edition, you can do that now through the use of this $3 app. I don't even know how it works. That just seems really sort of like witchcraft to me.
Yeah, it surprises me it came out so quickly. So,
and this isn't the Mojang version, so you know that they're going to be building it right into Minecraft eventually. But yeah, the fact that someone can do it, I guess that means that Minecraft on your iOS device has multiplayer kind of built into it, but not in the way that that Mojang would like it to be. So I guess the local multiplayer stuff is being streamed over the internet or something like that. Must be something to do with that. But pretty cool. So check it out if you're into Minecraft on your iOS device.
Yeah. So the next one is a change in the App Store. It seems like every couple of weeks you hear about some kid that's charged, a whole bunch of money on their parents' credit card. And then recently it seems like a lot of people have been getting upset when they buy a game and then there's an in-app purchase, right? Well, there's now a new label so that when you buy a game, it specifically says, and here's the quote, offers in-app purchases. So it just has that there so that you're aware that there are in-app purchases in the game, and that way you can go research them if that's concerning to you. So do you think this is a good change, Lloyd? What do you think of it?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to prevent any developers from doing that, releasing their game for free and having in-app purchases in it. And yeah, I mean, it's good that it's bringing it to the forefront. So if you're a parent and you're buying an app for your kids and you realize it's free, so you download it, it's maybe kind of gonna twig something in your brain that's saying, oh, it has in-app purchases. Maybe I should lock this down on my phone. It's so super simple to do. Like, you go into your settings and you can turn off in-app purchases. I don't know why people don't do that if they're worried about their kids spending thousands of dollars. But anyway, it's kind of a neat little thing. I don't know if it's going to piss off developers at all. I don't think it's going to really change too much, but it just shows that Apple's willing to evolve a little bit to try to make this store a good place for everybody to hang out.
Yeah, overall, I think it's a positive change, and I don't think that it will really impact that. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, it has in-app purchases, but it might just make me a little more informed about the purchase, which I think is always a good thing. So I really think that this is not going to be a big deal. So
yep, exactly. All right, cool. Well, that's going to about do it for news. We've been kind of light on news for the last couple of weeks, so I didn't want to do a 2-hour show that was all news all the time. So yeah, we covered the big stories, but I'm sure we'll have more GDC to talk about next week, because I'm sure there's going to be long-lasting GDC news to come out from that conference. All right.
Seriously, it was like every couple of hours, one of the websites would have, one of the websites that was there would show some other game that I was getting excited about. So I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about for a while.
It was awesome game after awesome game after awesome game being announced. It was pretty sick for a while there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely have lots to talk about over the coming weeks. All right, well, let's get into the reviews. I see you have 2 reviews, Jared, and I have 1. So how about you start off, and I will follow up with my review.
All right, sounds good. So my first review today is going to be a game called Megapolis. I mentioned this game last week because I like having one game that is a freemium game that I can check into, when I have a quick break at work, when I'm waiting for something, calculation to run or whatever I'm working on, models to calculate. Just whatever I'm working on and I need a quick break, I really enjoy having a freemium game. And for a very long time, that hole was filled by Dragonvale. And then I finally kicked the Dragonvale habit. And what did I move on to? Oh, Skylanders. And I did Skylanders Lost Islands for a long time. And then I thought that Skylanders was kicked out, and I tried another game, and it was Pixel People, and I was enjoying it for the first little bit. And then I got to the crappy part of Pixel People and deleted it anyway. So that's a long way to tell you how I got to Megapolis. So Megapolis, I looked at it, and it looked a lot like SimCity. So I thought that looked like it was going to be fun. So in Megapolis, you are trying, in fact, to build a city. It's kind of simplistic. You build houses, and of course, there's 8 million types of houses that you can build. You can only build the house if you have the land to build it on, as well as enough water and enough electricity. So unlike the SimCity games where you're like making sure the water goes to the right places and the electricity, you don't have to worry about that at all. It just, you either have the resource or you don't. And then a lot of other buildings add to your max population cap, which to me, this is one of the strange parts of this. And it's like there's a population cap that you have on your city, and for some reason, I don't really understand what voodoo this is, but your buildings produce population every couple of hours. So to me, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird way to manage it. So it's like they're another resource, and you do get really big bonuses when you hit important population metrics, like you hit 10,000 and all of a sudden you'll get a big bonus of cash, which is great. But you're doing all of this and it's kind of, then you hit the freemium wall and it's about level 10. And what's really strange is then you get these like special buildings, and these special buildings like a bridge or a beach, they require pieces that somehow you produce. I have no idea how you produce these, just sometimes they show up that I've done it. However, if I produce it, I can't use it. I have to give it away to someone else. So it requires you to have friends in the game. It's not too bad because you can find friends in the game. So, you're able to go look for people who are active on the game and, say, hey, will you be my friend? And then you can start swapping parts. So you can put parts on your wish list, but it's really annoying because I now have been waiting for 5 days for one specific part, and I still haven't gotten it. However, I've given away like 3 of them. So it's just so annoying, that here I need these, I think it's like a water pump or something like that. And I'm getting them and I'm giving them away. However, no one's giving them to me. And so I cannot complete my water treatment plant or hydroelectric dam or something like that. And it's just so annoying. And then the other thing is there's like 3 computer players, and every day they'll give you 3 parts. However, for some reason, it seems like they are programmed to not give you the part that you would need to complete something. So they'll leave you 1 part away from finishing, and then they'll start giving you, whatever other one that you're currently working on. So it's like programmed to work against you, and then you have to hope that you have a friend that has that last part that you need. And it's just kind of a little bit broken. And like I said, I have no idea how I produce the parts that people need. They just suddenly appear. And so that's kind of strange. Then you would think that money was driven by the number of people that you have in your place, and it's not. The primary way that you get money is by taking contracts in production facilities, and that totally gets into Farmville, where it's like, wait so long and then it's done, or you can pay so much to finish the contract now. And I understand that. However, they don't make sense. Like if you look at the profit on the contract, one building will often have one that makes you like 1,500 for an hour, and it will make you 2,000 for an hour, and you're like, wait, why do you have 2 different options that both are an hour? And then there's a car dealership, and the car dealership, if you do the 1 hour, you make like $2,000, and then if you do the 24-hour one, you get like $10,000. Well, if you do the 32-hour one, you also get $10,000, and it's like, well, why would I do that? It just is kind of annoying that way. I don't mind these systems as long as the one option is better than the other, and it's not. Unless you're planning on not coming back to it for a while, because the longer ones do take longer to expire, because it has the same little annoying mechanic where if you don't go check on it in a certain amount of time, it expires, which to me feels really strange. I understand like crops expiring and going bad, but like when my production facility, my assembly line goes and makes solar panels, why would solar panels expire? I mean, it's not like they're going to go bad. So it doesn't make sense. And that to me is the fundamental problem with this game. Additionally, as soon as you hit level 15, you will start having a timer countdown to when a hurricane is coming. Well, in order to stop this hurricane, you have to have an enormous amount of money and resources in order to build like 8 buildings, I think it is. 8 stages of buildings before you get there. Not only that, some of those stages of buildings require people to give you the parts, which, as I told you, can be problematic. So here I am, I'm like, holy cow, there's a hurricane coming. And the weird thing about it is when the hurricane comes, they give you like a 7-day warning. It's a ton of time. And like right now, I still have 82 hours. So I guess that's like 3 more days. However, in the amount of time I've had so far, I've only been able to build 3 stages, and I have to get up to like 8 before I can get the weather modification center and save my town from this hurricane. So I'm pretty sure this hurricane's going to wipe me out unless I pay real money to delay the hurricane. And just overall, you get a very small amount of premium currency. However, you would really be silly not to use that premium currency to expand your town. And yeah, they really want you to spend money. The paywall is there in all its glory. I'm giving this game a 2 out of 5. I don't really recommend it for anyone, and unfortunately, my quest for a freemium game that I can enjoy continues. So if anyone does have a great one that I should go play, I don't know. At this point, I'm getting discouraged, and I might need to go back to one of my old ones and play that for a while until I find something new. So again, that's Megapolis. I would recommend you don't download it, but it is free. So if you really want to build a city and do stupid stuff, then this game will let you do that. And you won't. I mean, it's free, so that's okay. But still, it's a waste of time.
Cool.
2 out of 5 for me. Don't get it. Social Quantum Games, in case you're wondering, is the developer.
Awesome. Great review. It sounds, yeah. I was kind of curious about this game, but I'm kind of glad I didn't download it. And you said that you're looking for a game. You might want to go back to Skylanders. They just released an update that adds a whole bunch of really cool stuff into the game. So maybe Skylanders is the game you want to play again.
So the thing about Skylanders is I don't know if they cloud saved my game.
No. Well, unless you updated to the cloud version, the cloud-enabled version, then no. So your game's probably gone.
So if it's completely gone,
yeah,
I'm not sure I want to go start back from zero.
You would still beat me to owning all the islands, I'm sure, even if you started again.
Yeah, I had all the islands, but I just... That's the key thing about that one. If my game was still there, I think with the updates that I've seen happen,
yeah,
I think I would go back and try it.
Download it, check it out. Maybe they iClouded it. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, do check it out.
The only other issue with it is that size, and I've been hurting for size lately. So
yeah, it is pretty big. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for that review. I'm gonna give you guys a review of a game that just came out this week, but I've played it a fair bit, and I really do dig it. It's called Nimble Quest. It's by Nimblebit, and it's free. So go download it now and play it while you're listening to my review. So basically, what Nimble Quest is it's a auto running RPG. So we've been talking about auto runners and really kind of bitching about them, but this one's a little bit different. It's similar to what is it? What was the game that you reviewed? Call of Snakes? Is that
Call of Snakes?
So it's very similar to Call of Snakes.
It's way better than Call of Snakes.
It is apparently way better than Call of Snakes, where you're playing the old game of Snake. So you basically are moving around. You can move left, right, up, or down, and your snake trails behind you, and you have to avoid running into the edges or people. But it's Snakes done with an RPG. So when you first start out, you have 3 possible characters, or maybe it's even 2 possible characters. I can't remember. And then as you play the game, you have to kill a certain number of enemies. Excuse me. To get to the next level. And when you get to a new level you've never been to before, you unlock a character class. And basically what happens is you're just one person, so you're a snake of one. But if you kill certain enemies, they give you a power-up that basically adds a random party member. And then your party can be a maximum of 1 to the number of characters that you've unlocked. So if you've unlocked 8 characters, your party size could be 9, and each of your characters will then battle. It'll attack enemies that are close. It'll have magic or arrows or whatever the character class is. One of the ones that I unlocked pretty soon after starting was a guy that throws bombs, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. That's the game. You're going around levels, killing things with your snake of RPG tropes, and you're trying to get as far as you can. When you kill enemies, sometimes they drop power-ups, other times they drop gems, and you use the gems to upgrade your characters. You use the gems to upgrade the power-ups, not the characters, although you can use them to upgrade your characters, because each of the characters that you unlock has the ability to be leveled up to 3 stars. When you get to 3 stars, your character is fully leveled up and super powerful. And what the stars do is they add additional damage or additional things. So I'm looking at Boomy, one of the characters that I leveled up to level 1. So at level 1, he gets an additional 50% attack power. At level 2, he gets another additional 50% attack power. And then at 3 stars, level 3, he gets plus 50% bullet speed on top of everything else. And it's similar to that, or it's similar for all the other characters. They get attack power, they get armor, they get attack range, they get other things depending on what the character class has. The one I like is Gizmo, who's the guy that throws bombs. If you get him up to level 3, he explodes when he dies. So that's always useful as well, because sometimes your character will just die and you won't notice their life going down because they're getting shot from someone at the very end of your chain. So if you're lucky to have a gizmo at the end of your chain, when he dies, he'll blow up and hopefully take the enemies with you as well. And that's pretty much it. The game is pretty simple. In the shop, you can increase all your different power-ups. You can level up your power-ups 5 times. They take a lot of gems. So the first upgrade is 250 gems. To get to the last one, it's 3,250 gems. So that's a lot of going through the game and playing. And that's pretty much it. So that's the main gameplay mode. But they've also added in something called Arena, which I didn't really try much. Jared kind of clued me into it, because when I first hit the button, it said, you can't do this until you're level blah. And then I just said, oh, okay. It's probably not something I want to play anyway. But what Arena is you can join a clan or a guild, and you can do once a day or every few hours. It looks like I can do it. I have 2 hours left before I can try it again. You can play a level of Nimble Quest, and your score gets added to your guild score, and then your guild gets ranked on the world. So I'm number 3 in my guild, and our guild is number 702 in the world. So not great, but not horrible. It looks like the best guild has like a stupid score, like really stupid score, like I think they've cheated stupid score. It looks like some of the real guilds, like the Touch Arcade or something awful, they have real scores. Like Touch Arcade is 130,074. Our guild score is 50. So I think we have a bit of a ways to go there, Quacko.
We're gonna get there.
I think we will. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the game. It's super simple but super addictive. Of course, it's free, and they have to make money somehow. So they have gems and tokens. So tokens are used. You have to use tokens to buy your way into the arena. Each turn that you try in the arena takes a token. Tokens can be found for free in the play area and picked up like any other item, or you can buy them. You can buy 20 tokens for $1, for example, or 2,000 tokens for $20 if you're crazy. Tokens can also be used to continue. So if you're almost at the end of a level and you haven't gotten further, you can hit the token and you restart that level, not right where you were, but at the start of the level, and it will allow you to maybe get further. You're probably just going to die as well, because you have to level up your characters if you really want to do well. And then there's also gems, and gems are used to upgrade your characters. So you can buy all those things. Excuse me. The last in-app purchase thing is the ability to unlock red gems, which are worth 10 times the amount. So currently on the game board, there's green gems, which are 1 gem, and blue gems, which are 5. If you wanna double that, you can unlock the red gems for 10x, so they're worth 10. But it's not even close to cheap. It's $5 for this. And I know Jared and I have talked about coin doublers a lot in the past. How we're big fans of coin doublers. Right, Jared? You like them?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm always willing, if I have played a game and played it significantly, to, especially on these freemium games, to give the developers $2-3 to, support them so that they can feed their families.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the exact same way. If I play a game, I'll play a couple, or if I download a game rather that's free, I'll play a couple missions or a couple attempts or whatever the kind of game it is. And if it's a game that I like and I'm going to continue playing, I'll look for a coin doubler or something else and toss the developer a couple dollars to reward them for making an awesome game. This one's this one's coin doubler thing, the red gems, is $5, which to me is just crazy. I don't mind spending $5 on a game. I do it repeatedly and all the time. But yeah, it's crazy. It is it's expensive, and I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I probably will, because I'm going to want to give the developers some money for making a really fun game like this one.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. It's like $5, that's a little high for what, especially because the game seems pretty simplistic. And yeah, I did enjoy it though. And if you do play it and you listen to us, then go join our guild, and we'll probably give up in a couple of weeks and go join another guild. But for right now, we're going to give it a shot and see how far we can get up. I've been playing this one quite a bit today as well. I think that we've unlocked about the same number of characters. I've kind of been saving my tokens, all the tokens I get, because my plan is that I'm going to try really hard to get as far as I can one time. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how many I need before, but I want to just save them all so that then I can use them as continues and try to get
a bunch of things
all the
unlocked.
characters.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard unless you're upgrading all your characters to like 2, 3, 4 stars, because it gets really hard. Like where I'm stuck now, I can't kill the enemies that appear faster than they appear, so I eventually get swarmed by like 10 or 15 groups of enemies on the screen that you can't avoid. So I'm going to have to work on maybe upgrading all my characters to level 1 and see if that helps maybe. But yeah, anyway, that's Nimble Quest. It's free. No reason not to download it. I really dig it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. If they had Stainer in-app purchases, I would give it a 5 out of 5. If that coin doubler was $2 or $3, I'd have no problems. But 5 seems a little steep. And I know I'm arguing about the cost of a latte at Starbucks. I understand that $5 is nothing. But just looking at other apps in the past that have done something like that, $2 to $3, 99 cents seems to be the way to do it. 5 seems to be a little bit much. But as I said, I probably will buy it because I'm crazy.
Yeah, it's cool though. I mean, I'm happy to see new things out of Nimblebit. They seem to kind of be on a little bit of a roll, so hopefully they keep it up.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So as I said, Nimble Quest by Nimblebit, free, and it gets 4 out of 5. All right, Jared, moving on. Your next review.
So my next and final review today is a game called Pwn. It's PWN if you're trying to spell it. So this game is a little bit of a satirical take on what people thought hacking was like in like the early 90s, late 80s types of things. So what happens is you get a hacker. You start off with Cypher, and as you beat each campaign, there's another one. So there's actually like 8 different campaigns. However, the levels start to get really repetitive because what each level consists of is that there's a whole bunch of nodes in a specific pattern, and the pattern that they're in changes every time. So it doesn't change on each level, but it changes. Each level is different from the previous level. And so what'll happen is that you pretty much are touching the nodes that you're wanting to take over and hack into. So it's not like you're actually hacking anything, but you're basically saying, I want to take over this one and work on this one, and while you're working on it, then your little color will go around it slowly, and you'll slowly take over the point. And so you're blue and the bad guy is red, and then there's a whole bunch of other like upgrades that happen. So as you're playing, you'll be playing, and maybe you'll encrypt your thing, which looks like a little lock that goes on your node so that then they can't touch it. And there's just a whole bunch of that, and the idea is to turn all the nodes your color, but it's really simplistic in terms of strategy games. Sometimes there'll be a core, and you, instead of killing all the rest of the other guy, you can just take over the core, but the core you have to touch in 2 different places. There's a whole bunch of different power-ups as you go throughout the game. Let's see, there's a total of 7, which makes sense, or 8, because it's the same number as how many people there are. So you can go through and use those different power-ups and put them together. Each character is slightly different as you play through it. But for me, it just gets a little boring because you're just tapping dots and trying to outmaneuver the other guy. And it does get pretty frantic at times. One of the key strategies is to try and split your opponent so that they're in 2 groups, because then you can pretty much consume one group very, very quickly. But yeah, it's a little simplistic, not I don't know what to say about this game. I was kind of excited for it just because of the look of it. It looked kind of retro-y, but it's not doing it for me. You can spike the other guys with the virus that makes it so that they can't take over from that area, and if they don't get rid of the virus by touching it, then you actually can get free nodes. Just lots of different things like that. But I don't really want to recommend this to anyone because for me it got very repetitive very quickly. It's $1.99 on the App Store. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. There is a lot of different levels, so if you are interested in playing multiplayer, I think that would be the only reason I could recommend this game to you, is if you want kind of a fun little game to try and play multiplayer, because it does have some good multiplayer in it. And you then, it's Bluetooth only, so it's not like it's online, but you can go ahead and play someone else if you have Bluetooth. And I think that would actually be pretty fun, because then you're actually moving against another human. But just playing against the computer gets a little boring. So that is Pwn, PWN, on the iTunes store for $1.99. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. So I apologize. I don't have very positive reviews today, but that happens. And if you're looking for it, it is by 82 Inc. Games. So, yeah, that's my other review today. A little shorter, but there's really not a lot to go into on this game. It's pretty simple. So,
cool, awesome. Well, thanks for that one, Jared. You would also just realized about Nimble Quest. You can actually buy characters that you haven't unlocked yet for $1 each.
Oh, good.
So I just to test it out, I bought the second to last character, which is the ninja, and sure enough, yeah, I'm running around with the ninja for $1, and it's pretty overpowered compared to the other characters I was using. So there's that as well. So yeah, you can kind of buy your way to all the characters if you're having problems unlocking them, which I guess is good, because then you don't feel like you're kind of done when you can't go any further. But yeah,
I'm definitely gonna keep playing it. I think it's a really good play for a couple of minutes type game. So
yeah, for sure. And that's not a slight against the game. It might have sounded that way, but I guess that's kind of good if you're eager to get one character, but you can't. That is something that you can do. US Ozgirl asked if there's achievements, and
there's not.
There's leaderboards. I don't believe there are achievements yet.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
There are leaderboards, but no achievements.
Yep. Cool. All right, man. Well, I think that's it for the show. Good show this week. Lots of stuff to talk about.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, what? You don't think it was a good show?
No, I just got nothing else for you, man.
All right. Well, even though Jared doesn't think it's a good show, why don't you guys let us know what you think? Head on over to vgpodcast.com and click contact us at the top of the page. I didn't know what to say there. I was kind of stunned. Wow. Yeah. Jay Carguth is saying he's no longer spicy. I guess you're not spicy anymore, Jared. Emails directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com, or call our voicemail line, which is area code 505-VG-Podcasts. Of course, as we said previously, many times, we do have forums, and we want to hear from you guys. So head on over to the VG Podcast forums, click in, join us. It's easy to sign up. You can basically sign in with your Facebook or Twitter account if you don't even want to create your own account. And it allows you to comment on all the posts as well. If you want to win an awesome copy of Dungeon Plunder, you're going to need to sign up to the forums and post a comment. Let us know why you want the game, and we'll give away a couple copies to people that do that. So please join us, please comment, and hopefully you'll be winning your own copy of Dungeon Plunder. All right, well that's about it, man. I think I'm gonna go to bed or something. Maybe I'll play some more Nimble Quest actually, and then go to bed.
Yeah, you probably should. It's pretty late for you, so.
It is, but I'm off, and it's a holiday tomorrow, so. It doesn't matter.
Man, I need a holiday.
Don't you get tomorrow off?
No, man.
Oh, okay. Poor you. All right. Well, for those that aren't working tomorrow, laugh at Jared. For everybody else, I'm sorry you're working tomorrow. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.